So let's convert variable payments into fixed payments. And with interest rate swap, it's going to look like this. Now, what I have is a series of hedged flows. The hedged flows are these are the rates that I locked in, the 5.75%, the 6%, and the 6.5 lock-in. Now, if I want to have an interest rate swap, the swap is going to look like this. I'm going to have some sort of swap rate, a fixed rate. And the key to the thing is that the swap rate is the same for each period, versus up here, when I hedge it using euro-dollar futures contracts, it's fixed, but different for each payment. So if I wanted to talk about these hedge payments, I could take a present value of the hedge payments here, where I would be discounting each one of the payments using the spot rates that I determined from the market for interest rates. So the same thing down here, I could take, well, what is the swap rate? And I'm going to take the present value of the swap payments over the 4 periods. And what I'm interested in is I want to set this swap rate equal to such that the present value of the hedge payments and the present value of the swap payments is exactly the same. Okay, so that's the key. I want to set it, pick the swap rate such that the present value, in other words, the value of the hedge payments and the value of the swap payments is the same. So how do I estimate the swap payments? Well, the way I'm going to do it is first I have to determine what each of the hedge flows are. So here, for example, this is 5% times 1 million divided by 4, okay? And so if I do that, the hedge payment would be 12,500. This payment here would be 5.75% times 1 million divided by 4. So I'm putting here, these would be actually what the hedge flows are, all right? Then what I want to do is I want to take the present value of each of the flows using the spot rates. And here are my spot rates over here. So I'm going to take the present value, each one of the flows over the thing, and then sum them up. And the present value of all of those hedge flows is 56,067. So now what I want to do is pick a swap rate, which I don't know yet, okay, and basically estimate what. So one way of doing it, I actually know what the answer is, okay. I know that the answer is 5.8%, but I could pick anyone. And if I pick anyone, I would determine what the swap flows are. And in this particular case, it's assuming a swap rate of 5.8%, the swap flows would be 5.8% divided by 4 times 1 million. So each one of these payments would be exactly the same. And then what I'm going to do is take the present value of each one of these things using exactly the same spot rates I did for the hedge flows, okay? And doing that, I know it turns out that, lucky guess, 5.8% is actually equal to, gives me a present value of the swap flows of 56,067. So basically, the fixed swap rate, which makes the present value equals, is 5.8%. I was lucky here. I just picked the rate that worked, okay? So it was pretty lucky. So actually, if you were doing this in Excel, what you would do is you could set this up exactly like I have it here. You could goal seek to find the rate that would make the flows equal, or you could just do trial and error to find the swap rate that would make them equal. But in this particular case, the swap rate that makes them feel indifferent between buying and receiving LIBOR, paying and receiving LIBOR, is a rate of 5.8%. So basically then, when we start looking at swaps, the swap price in this particular case is 5.8%. And this is the market clearing price. Now, this is what if two parties who wanted to enter into a swap could find each other, this is a rate that would be fair to each one of those. However, when we're doing this as a market clearing price, the dealer will actually charge more to pay fixed and receive, will charge more to pay fixed and receive LIBOR. And the dealer will actually charge less to receive fixed and pay LIBOR, all right? And so basically what they're going to do is they're going to charge, if there's a dealer in the middle, and we have B here and we have A here, and this is the swap, okay? And the market clearing price is 5.8%. percent, okay? So basically, if it's receiving fixed here, and it's paying LIBOR here, it's going to be paying fixed here. So this is get, pay, and it's going to get LIBOR. The LIBOR rates cancel each other out, but this might be 5.9%, and this might be 5.7%. So the dealer would collect about 20 basis points, okay, for the transaction. And A probably is happy to do that, and B is happy to do it because it's easier than actually hedging it yourself, doing it yourself. Because we could actually do it yourself by using the Eurodollar futures contracts. Okay.